Hi, I'm J.C. Jones, and I want to share with you a word from the Lord. It comes from Psalm 121, verse 1 through 2, and I paraphrase. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills from which cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord, which made both heaven and earth. He will not suffer my foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee shall not slumber. I want to talk today about changing your vantage point. My brothers and my sisters, it is way, way too often that we have fallen into what I call the Down syndrome. And I'm not talking about Down syndrome or the physical mental condition that children are born with in some instances. I'm talking about the mindset of looking down. I'm talking about the mindset of thinking that you're never going to get better, that the only thing you have is bad luck, that you can never pick yourself up or dust yourself off or get beyond where you are. Listen, first off, stop dealing with luck. Anything you got more bad than good, you need to leave alone. And truth be told, if you woke up with blood in your veins and breath in your lungs and was able to get vertical and find yourself breathing, then you are blessed today. So let's start from there. The first problem you have when you start looking down is that your attitude about yourself changes. You begin to look down, you begin to see nothing but the obstacle of the ground beneath you, recognizing that you're in a place where it seems like everything around you is falling apart. But the truth of the matter is, no matter what's going on around you right now, you have to understand that anything you're dealing with is temporary. That we are eternal beings that are living spiritual creatures that are living in a natural experience. And so the things that we see, the things we taste, the things we touch, the things we hear, the things that we smell, the things that excite our senses are temporary. And what you have to understand is if it doesn't kill me, it's going to make me better because I'm going to grow through the experience. What you go through, you grow through. And so we need to change our vantage point from having the Down syndrome where everything is a problem. Monday morning is an issue because, I have to get up and go to the job today. You need to change that vantage point because a whole lot of folk want to go to a job today and begin to say to yourself that I'm blessed to have somewhere to go and something to do. I'm blessed because I've got a means of support. I've got a ways to get where I'm going. It may not be the best transportation. I may be on the bus. I may be on my feet, but thank God for I'm working. Change your vantage point. It's all about attitude. When you can have an attitude of gratitude for what God has done for you, when you can have an attitude that says that I deserve to be better, do better, and have better, then what you'll find is that you'll change the way that you think. And the way you think is going to determine the decisions you make. And the decisions you make is going to determine the direction you take. And the direction you take is going to determine your destination. Bottom line, we tell our children oftentimes, don't get an attitude. But I want to tell you something. You need a little attitude. You need to develop an attitude that says that I am the child of the King, that I am to be above only and not beneath. You need to develop an attitude that says I will not be treated any kind of way. I will not be talked to any kind of way. I will not be used and abused and taken as something that is normal. Abuse is the abnormal use of a person or a thing. And what you have to understand is that you deserve more than to be somebody's play toy. You deserve more than to be somebody's whooping down. And you need to get an attitude that says, I'm no longer going to look down in my situation. I'm no longer going to look down at myself. I'm no longer going to expect less from myself than God does from me. I'm going to begin to change my vantage point. And the other thing is, you can't just look ahead of you either. Because looking straight ahead, you might see another man, but you can't trust man. You can't trust people. You have to learn that looking laterally is not where my help is. I can't look to my cousin, my neighbor, my father, my mother, my brother, my sister to help me. I have to find a source that is capable. Some people are able to help you, but won't do it. And some people wish they could, but can't. But the truth be told, what you have to understand is trust no man, trust God. When you put your trust in God, all of a sudden you put your trust in someone who doesn't lie. You put your trust in someone who has your back. You put your trust in someone who cared enough about you that while you were yet not worthy of love, not worthy to be loved, he loved you enough to send his own son to die for you. You trust the one who gives you breath in the morning. You trust the one that gives you sleep at night. Trust the one that designed you to show you why you're here. You have to stop looking laterally, because the more I look at people to save me, the more disappointed I am. Some of you are looking for guys to save you. Some of you are looking for women. Some of you are looking for esteem. Some of you are looking for money to save you. And none of these things are capable of doing what you need done. You have to change your vantage point. And then you got to stop looking behind you. Because looking behind you takes you back into the past. Yesterday is a day you can't get back. No matter what you did with it, no matter what you did in it, you can't get back the triumphs and you can't get back the tragedies of yesterday. But you can continue to relive them, and you can continue to revisit them, and you can continue to remember them. Remember, or to re-put them back together, or reassemble them in your mind, which keeps them fresh and keeps your reality stunted by the things that you've been through. I want to tell you something today. You need to get your behind out the past and put the past behind you. There's nothing that looking back can do for you other than give you the experience that you had to tell you, okay, I don't want to touch that stove again because it is hot. Or to tell you, if I did this correctly last time, it worked this time. Beyond that, the past needs to be left right there in the past. What you've got to do, people, is you've got to change your vantage point to look in one direction. And that's up. You've got to look up because your help comes from God. A God that sits high and looks low. Your help comes from a God that the Bible says He will not suffer your foot to be moved. He will not allow you to lose your footing. You may feel unstable, but God's got you. You may feel like you don't know how you're going to continue, but God has got you. You have to understand something, that now He wouldn't send you to this place or get you this far to leave you where you are. I want you to know something right now. You're on His mind. He knows the thoughts He thinks towards you, those thoughts of good and not of evil. You have to understand that you are here not by accident or incident, but by providence. And the very fact that you are alive is evidence that God's not going to leave you alone. You got to start to look up to the hills from which comes your help, knowing that your help comes from God. Your strength comes from God. Your empowerment comes from God. Your resource comes from God. Yes, in these times you need to know that your resources are not allocated by man. It's allocated by the hand of God. And God has unlimited resources. There's nothing He doesn't have. There's nothing He can't do. And there's nothing He wouldn't do for you. You have to start to look up and say, I'm going to live and not die. I'm going to prosper. I'm supposed to lend and not borrow. I'm not going to stay in this condition. I'm not going to stay in this lifestyle. I'm not going to continue to live a life that I don't have to live. Constantly upset, constantly mad, constantly uncomfortable, constantly hurting when I can be winning. Look up and live. For the God that keeps Israel neither sleeps nor does He slumber. He knows where you are, what you're going through, and He's got your back. Change your vantage point, and you change your life. God bless you, and God keep you.